Hi Cancer, welcome. So Cancer, this is going to be your reading. I'm going to start with the spiritual general messages and then I'm going to go into the you versus them portion. I am time stamping this November because that's when I'm recording it, but my readings are timeless, which means that whenever you found this, that's when you're meant to hear it. So let's go ahead and get into it and see. So you have the card of Pisces and Leo. You could be dealing with those zodiac signs or have those in your chart. And or it's just the influencing vibe, which I think it's interesting that Leo energy is here because I was kind of going back and forth on whether or not to do your reading or Leo's first. And then I ultimately decided to do yours. So interesting connection there between you and Leo energy. Check out their reading when it comes out. You may resonate with that as well. But this is talking about your more imaginative, compassionate, empathetic, spiritual self. This can be very emotional energy, but it's kind of also low-key vibes, you know, like not necessarily openly expressing, you know, maybe how you feel, but keeping it on the down low or low-key or private. Okay, so I get like a private energy around this. And then you have the card of Leo here, which is very expressive, very loving, very playful, very warm energy, very heart-centered energy showing up here. So it's all to deal with your heart, your emotions. And yeah, so interesting start. Let's get some more cards out and see what else we have coming through for you. And I'm not making this up. Well, I never make anything I say on here up. But I keep getting Adele every time I go to sit in a meditation. I've gotten it for 3 signs: Scorpio, Aquarius, and now you. And it's not the same song, but it's the same artist. And I'm like, where is this coming from? But we could have had it all. Again, that song coming through again. If it resonates, great. If not, maybe it's just me. I don't really know what that's about. So let's see what else we have here for you, Cancer, for the Osho Zen. You have the card of completion, success, what else? The Creator, and we are the world. So there seems to be a missing puzzle piece here that is beginning to come together during this time frame. I love to see the success card here next to the Creator. So I feel like this is, you know, intentional creation of something that is bound to be successful. So you also have that going on in the energy. And then this card of connectedness, reminding you, Cancer, that you are connected to everything and everyone. And even though there's a veil of separation, you know, through the lens of the ego, in the eyes of spirit, we are all of one. And do unto thy neighbor as you would have done unto yourself, as a reminder as well coming through. So treat others as you would like to be treated. And treat yourself too as kindly as you would treat others. Nice. It's not just always about how we treat others, but it's often about how we treat ourselves. How kind are you to yourselves? How loving are you? How much grace do you give yourself? Because how you treat yourself is what you have to give to others. It is the gift that you have to give. And if you're filling yourself up with love, then you have a lot of love to give. And if you're not, if you're really hard on yourself, if you're very critical, if you think a lot of negative thoughts and you don't have your own back, then you don't have much to give, not only to yourself, but to others. So the primary purpose or reason for your essence is to find yourself and to be in alignment and truly love who you are. And then everything else is kind of a byproduct of that. The money, the car, the lover, all of that, a byproduct of the most important relationship, and that is the relationship with yourself. And so there's also like this self-reliant energy coming through about knowing thyself and understanding yourself and really honoring that within yourself. So let's see what more specifically we have coming through. Those are kind of the higher level messages. And let's see for Cancer. Let's see what else for Cancer. You have the Six of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like, and this really isn't based on the cards, this is just the feeling I'm getting, like a level of discomfort here. I don't know if it's like in your surroundings or in your emotions or in your body or all of the above, but I definitely feel uncomfortable and a little insecure. Yeah. And if that isn't you, that could be, you know, people you're connecting with, but, or person you're connecting with, but I feel, yeah, uncomfortable. So there might be something here that you're really struggling with, okay, from your childhood or from your past, and it's like you're trying your best to refocus yourself and look towards your future and to stay grounded, but I do feel this is like an inward battle here. And again, the energy is that of very spiritual, very emotional energy. So you have that guiding light here, but there's also this tug of war going on internally, and maybe even feeling conflicted or defensive or, you know, torn about something. So let's see. Page of Swords. Three of Cups, Nine of Wands. Ooh, yes, the Five of Swords. So I also feel very distracted. You know, it could be hard to hold your focus right now, especially if you have a lot going on emotionally or internally. I just get a sense of like having your guard up, having your defenses up, you know, feeling a bit like the outsider or feeling a bit outside of yourself even, you know, like out of touch. Some of you feel out of touch with reality. Let me get more on this. Or you could be connecting with someone that seems a little bit out of touch or out of touch with reality. But I'm focusing this reading on you. Can you hold on a second, please? It's like this little inner skeptic in you that knows things are going to come together eventually, but you really just doubt it. You really just may be in this space where you feel like, all right, like you've already been through so much, Cancer, and it's hard for you to put your guard down. It's hard to expect even positive things, I feel, because of some of the trials and tribulations that you've been through. But it's like you can't get outside of yourself though, because you get what you expect, and there's like this important reminder to expect the best, but that's so hard to do because I feel like some of you, this is what I'm getting, okay? I feel like some of you expect you out of others. You know what I mean? Like, you expect how you would handle things, how you would care, how you would love, maybe out of others or out of another. And when they cannot deliver that, it disappoints. And now that's a really tricky place to be in, because you can't get what you want and be disappointed at the same time. And even though it doesn't seem like you're choosing that vibration of disappointment, it is still a choice. Every emotion you feel is a choice. So, how to move away from that? You cannot be happy and disappointed at the same time. You cannot expect well when you are focused on the unwell. It's tricky, right? Because sometimes life causes us to feel that way, or so we think. But we're only ever in charge of our vibration. So this is sticky and this is complex. Oh, yeah. And it's almost even hard for me to explain what I'm feeling. And maybe you are also having trouble like explaining how you feel to another or to others, but they're giving me the Beyonce song. You know, I want to save my breath. They want you to save your breath. And trying to explain. It's not worth it. Can you keep up? I don't even know if that's the actual lyric to the song, but that's how I heard it. So let's see what else. Page of Pentacles, Six of Wands. Knight of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Wheel. So I feel like the good news is, Cancer, that you're going to get an opportunity to start again. Every day is a new opportunity to begin again. And it does not matter how many bad days you've had prior to today, because today doesn't have to be anything like the yesterdays. All right, or the tomorrows. Does that even make any sense? Like, you get a clean slate every time you awaken in the morning, Cancer. And I feel like this clean slate energy coming through where you were once kind of skeptical, now becoming more sure-footed. And having some success and seeing things come together. And I'm also getting this is particularly true in partnerships or with receiving support from others, friends, close family, things of that nature. And then ultimately manifesting movement forward here towards this feeling of feeling more resolved within yourself. It's a solution-oriented energy, and it's bringing with it good luck. So I feel like I'm getting the phrase good luck in your future endeavors. So some of you are literally like closing a chapter and getting ready to begin another chapter. But there's always like this weird in-between period where you've got one foot into the new and one foot in the past. And that's where I feel the struggle is like, well, this is how things have always been. So it's hard for me to imagine how they will be moving forward. And it's like, but you gotta let yourself go through that transition and as best as you can allow it to happen in a way that is natural and not forced. Okay, because I feel like people think like change happens overnight, but for the most part it is like it's a process, right? And that there's this weird like gray area when you're changing habits or locations or partners or whatever it is that you're changing, where things feel a little in the air, you know what I mean? Like a little uncertain. And it's like, there's this tipping point here where I get that feeling, right? And it's like, are you gonna land on your feet? And the universe is saying, absolutely. You land on your feet every time without fail. Why would this be any different? It's not going to be. So it's like having a little bit of trust, you know, and the free fall, if you will, into your next chapter. So Very interesting. Let's see what the guidance has to say before we go into the love portion of the reading. Guidance for Cancer. God love your love. My manifestations are the indicators of my beliefs. It is always true that whatever you're living always matches your chronic vibrational pattern or belief. And it does not matter if you have an excellent excuse for your negative thoughts and negative emotions, they will still equal your point of attraction. What is manifesting on every subject in your life is an indicator of the beliefs you hold and the chronic patterns of thought. Now, this is really interesting because this brings me back to the point of the reading where I was talking about you can't be disappointed and get what you want at the same time. You know, as humans, we try to train each other through our misbehavior, right? Or our emotions to get what we want out of others, right? Kind of like how a child would throw a tantrum so that they can get what they want out of the mother. Well, some of us continue that childlike behavior all the way to the grave because we don't, so a lot of people don't understand how energy actually flows. And although throwing a tantrum might get you a small, short-lived result, it is short-lived and it will not be consistent. And oh, by the way, the more tantrums you throw, the more you push people away. Because that's not where it's really at. That's not where the answer is really at. The answer is in your alignment. And the universe does not respond, no matter how justified you are, to tantrums. It does not respond to disappointment with a reward. You only get more disappointment because that and which is like unto itself shall be drawn. So if you're in the vibration of disappointment, the universe is not going to override that and give you a blessing. It's just going to keep matching you up with more disappointment and more disappointment and more disappointment. That's why I say you can't sit in that emotion and get what you want. Get the relief you want, get the blessing you want, get the love you want, get the money you want. You can't. It's not a match. So it's like no matter the reason why you're feeling that way, and this is the process, right? Don't expect this to happen overnight and don't push yourself beyond what you're ready for. It's all right to feel any emotion. I'm not saying it's wrong to feel disappointment. It's all right. But when you're ready to feel better and when you're ready for things to go better, the only component that needs to change in order for that to change is you. By allowing yourself to move out and away from the disappointment or whoever's disappointed you, to move away from those thoughts and into thoughts that feel a little bit more like appreciation, a little bit more like happiness, a little bit more like love. And then when you're in that state of higher vibration, guess what the universe will do? It will match you with like components, things to be blessed for, things to be grateful for, love coming in. That's the long-lasting change that you're actually wanting. That's the only way to get the long-lasting change that you are wanting. And it's all within, all of it. So let's see what we have coming through in the you versus them reading and go from there. So I'll see you in just a second. Welcome back. So now we're going to go into the you versus them. I'm going to look at you and the person you may be connecting with. Keep in mind it's a general reading, so you can reverse the roles if needed. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and let's go. So, Cancer, you have the card of Venus, which is all about love, your heart chakra, romance. It doesn't have to be intimate love, though. It could just highlight love in general, wanting love, feeling love, seeking more pleasure in your love life. This person has the card of guidance. So I feel like there's something here weighing on your mind. Excuse me. Weighing on your conscience. Sorry, I have air run through me. And this person has the card of guidance. So this person could be providing guidance to you, maybe a source of light to you, or maybe they're needing guidance. Okay, so let's see where this is headed and go from there. Let's see. Recent past past. I'm going to look at the recent past for both of you, how you feel underneath it all, how you see each other, and most likely outcome. So, how Cancer felt in the recent past, if I can speak. King of Cups, King of Swords. Can you keep up? Three of Wands. And the Hierophant. Lots of masculine energy showing up. Some of you could have heavy influence from the masculine in your life, or certainly this could be for my masculine Cancers. But either way, it's a sense of like importance showing up, the patriarchy being highlighted. It's a whirlwind of emotion as well, as I feel like the King of Cups is like a very sensitive energy. And then you go to the King of Swords, which is a very stoic, cold, detached energy. And then the Hierophant, which is kind of like the lesson learner, the knower of all, right? Can be party pooper. Can be party pooper energy. Okay. I don't know if this is you embodying that. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It just seemed like out of left field, but whatever. This could have been you, Cancer. Maybe you felt kind of like a party pooper, you know, all in your emotions, not really wanting to be around anyone, distant, whatever. At the same time, it's very dedicated energy. It is trying to be the bigger person. It is trying to see the bigger picture as well. And you certainly could have been dealing with a masculine in particular that had those traits if it's not you. But let's see this person's recent past. 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. The Hierophant, the Hermit, and the 9 of Pentacles. So this person's done a great deal of soul searching, of working on themselves, of thinking as well about the partnership, or doing soul searching on that. It's like they have this very independent streak that kind of allows them to keep reaching for more. And I feel like their dreams, their aspirations, all of that's what's coming to the forefront. And that may have been a heavy focus for this person. It's also a lot of alone energy, which is interesting, a lot of independent energy. So even though they may be in partnership, they often feel alone, or they prefer to be alone. Cancer, which may or may not have sat well with you. So let's see where you're at today. What is the today perception? How does Cancer see this person? Page of Cups. Ace of Wands. The Star. I don't know how you could see this person as immature and yet inspiring, but that is literally what I got. Or like maybe you see like, no, that's what I got. I'm sorry. It's like they have growth yet to do, and yet you find them inspiring, or like their growth is inspiring. If this is intimate, there's a physical attraction here. Oh, okay, I see it. It's like in one aspect, this person is very inspiring because of what they are able to accomplish, or the stability or finances for some of you that they can bring. And that feels like a wish come true. On the other hand, when it comes to handling emotions, you feel this person is immature, you know, or has a lot to learn, or has a lot to develop. But you know, the tricky thing about seeing the fault in someone is that often the faults we see in those closest to us are mirror images of things we refuse to see about ourselves. And I know that's never comfortable to hear. I ain't raining on your parade, okay? I'm just telling you, these are the laws of the universe. And it's frustrating because I have had personal experience where I've been interacting with somebody that I love, and just be like, God, I hate when you do that. I hate when you do that. And then sat and thought about it and thought, like, okay, since I understand these laws, is that something that I do to them as well, or that I do in general? And I'll tell you 99.999% of the time, it is. Well, it's actually 100% of the time, but I like to have a little bit of denial. Because we just believe, our ego will have us believing we are perfection and everybody else needs to go fix themselves. You know? But it's never that way. It's never that way. It isn't. It's frustrating, right? And I feel like that's why, like, a lot of people don't want to see it that way. They rather believe the delusion of separation because it's just easier on their ego. You know, but the problem with that is if you don't see yourself in all and in everyone, then you have no opportunity to grow and no opportunity to change, which means life is going to feel pretty ho-hum and the same every day until you pass away, which is not really the experience you came here to live. You came for the growth. You came for the expansion. You came for the irritation, because sometimes irritation initiates growth. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of signed up for all of that. Anyways, let's see this person. The Strength card. The Knight of Pentacles. The Magician. And the Empress. So this person is actually in this really positive space, but again, it's a lot of focus on me energy, or a lot of individual energy, right? So I feel like this person, that may be just where their focus is right now, their growth and development, their aspirations, their career, their whatever. And some of them want to share it with you, right? But others are not in the sharing mood, I heard. So it'll be different for each of you. But regardless, I think this person, they see you as a strong character. I just sneeze all of a sudden. They see the strength in your character. They know that you have the ability to create like a really comfortable and loving and secure environment, but I feel like this person is more focused on figuring out how to give that to themselves, you know. And I don't want to say it's a selfish energy, but it does feel like, yeah, kind of, yeah, bit of a selfish energy here. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying what I see. So let's go deeper into the emotional. How is Cancer feeling deep down? The Hangman, the Chariot, the Ace of Pentacles, I do want to say too that this person is waiting to manifest some sort of development or growth in their life or within the connection, which is interesting because I see in your energy that you've been kind of hanging out, you know, weighing things out, but ultimately I feel you moving in the right direction. I feel forward movement. I feel you going towards your goals, your ideas, what makes you feel good. And it's kind of like you both are selfishly prioritizing yourself, but it's actually for the benefit of both of you and possibly for the whole connection. You know, it's like you think sacrificing your happiness to uplift someone is a good thing or romantic, because they kind of romanticize that in our culture, right? To be selfless, right? And to give to another and not keep anything for yourself. And you know, there's all walks of life, so I don't want to say you can't be happy and content doing that, because you could. And some people do find happiness in that, but most people actually find that draining and emptying, because unless you're giving something to yourself, you'll eventually deplete yourself of anything to give. And then the person that you made sacrifices for, you're going to end up resenting them. Careful with that. That's all I'm saying. But I actually feel a great deal of clarity coming through, a higher level of commitment coming through, movement forward, and a lot of positive momentum. So, yay. Let's see what this person is feeling. The Tower, the Two of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands. So, Cancer, this person's going through a lot of big changes right now, and they're becoming more self-aware through the process. They seem to be distracted, detached. They're in their head a lot, but they also feel disconnected, and meaning like sometimes it's hard for this person to feel good. Ooh, it's hard for them to feel good sometimes. They work on it, but sometimes they isolate themselves so much that it has the opposite effect. It's like they're working so hard that they're actually working against themselves at times, right? This person, if there's some change coming through here, an anticipated change, they're stressing about that. They're worried about, you know, the negative impacts as opposed to the silver linings, which is causing them quite a bit of stress. It's almost like the way that they are coping is to throw caution to the wind almost, and like throw themselves into their work and or into like fun activities, you know, things that kind of take their mind away from what they're avoiding. But you can only avoid for so long, right? Before you have to confront the real feeling. This person might need guidance. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if your cross watcher is here for guidance for themselves versus you. So let's see where this is headed. Most likely future outcome. Eight of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Ooh, I can't end it. Seven of Swords. See, now in the spiritual reading, I picked up that there was something from the past that you were holding on to, and then, or maybe struggling with. Okay. And now again, you have the Six of Cups and the Seven of Wands, which is concerning for you. I have the song Forgiveness in my mind. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. But the other message I was getting is like, here you are on the road to self-recovery. Some of you are actually on the road to recovery. Others of you, it's like a self-discovery type of energy of like working on yourself and being more generous and being more open. There's something from your past that either you're ashamed of, and And if that's the case, today's the day where you're going to let it go. You can let it go. Your higher self is never ashamed of you because it sees you through the eyes of unconditional love. So if your higher self isn't seeing you through those eyes, why would you hold yourself to that fire? Does that even make sense to you? You should never be ashamed of your past or your childhood or your traumas or none of that. Like, that's what made you you. That's what brought you to this place of understanding yourself. And that's what likely brought you to my page. Because you're a match to this information for a reason. And the only reason you would be a match to view this and watch this is if you are on the path of spiritual development and growth. Which, high five. You're doing just fine. Alright. So why would you want to cover up your past? So why would you want to be ashamed of that? Why would you shame someone else for their past? Some of you are shaming someone else, but when you point that finger, guess how many fingers are pointing back? Be careful with that. I talked about that earlier. It's like, yeah, it's learning how to build a new future for yourself by not letting go of who you used to be or your past, but by letting go of the negative emotion around it. Because you can't change it, right? And you did the best that you could with what you knew at that time, which was perfectly fine in the eyes of your higher self. So today's the day to let that go. And really love yourself. Really love yourself, Cancer, because what I feel coming through also is growth, but love. And others wanting to love you the way that you love. And isn't that what I picked up in the spiritual reading, that you wanted the most? But you got to be a match to that. How do you become a match to receiving the love that you so easily give? Easily give that love to yourself. Yeah. All right. I feel like hugging you through, I'm gonna hug you through the YouTube. Can you feel it? Okay, Justice, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. I'm going to do 2 readings today, but I think this will suck the life out of me. I think this might be it. Queen of Cups. So this person is learning how to balance themselves, how to stay committed to what is true for them. They're also learning about acceptance, about letting things go. Same thing, y'all on the same path. Like everything I just said to you, apply it to this person. You know? And I think for them, their self-discovery path had to deal with self-reliance. But as they step away from that and they're being guided into their next, it's more about openness, vulnerability, allowing that love to flow. They're questioning, what am I committed to? How can I make this balanced? What seems fair? And there is a balancing of karma coming through in the connection on both ends, and both of you going into this more open and loving space. So it's beautiful. So let's see what the guidance is. Our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. When you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it, and when you remember that the varied behavior of others adds to the balance and the well-being of your planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, and that you do not have to participate in their unwanted behavior and will not, unless you give your attention to it, you will become more willing to allow others to live as they choose. So this is an important message, and it's about letting others be who they be while also maintaining who you be, and you be a lover. You're a Cancer. You're a water sign. You love. You're meant to be a lover. So, never let anybody take that away from you. All right, anyways, so zodiac signs that you may be connecting with or have in your own chart. I have Libra, Cancer energy, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, Virgo, Cancer, Aquarius, Taurus, Pisces. And I felt Scorpio, Aquarius energy in the spiritual reading. But take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any future videos or live videos. I do have live videos on my Facebook as well. I recently did a live video on Halloween. I'm telling everybody about it. I don't care. On Halloween with my mom, where I got a surprise, and my surprise was an engagement. Yay! I got engaged. You can watch the video. My reaction is priceless. It's pinned at the top of my Facebook page, Tarot Time with Dana. Linked below, as well as check out my Instagram, same Tarot Time with Dana is the name of it. Also check out my donation link for those of you who like to donate. You can do so there. Otherwise, wishing you the very, very best. And until next time, my friends, namaste.